Hi, welcome back. In today's video, we are going to talk about overloading a function to calculate area. Here we are having a class called shape. In this shape class, we are having only one function. This is my function called area. It requires two arguments, length and breadth, apart from self. And we are putting breadth equals to none. And then if breadth is none, this is the if condition. We are defaulting this argument, okay? And now we're saying if breadth is none, then return the output of length multiplied by length itself. And we realize that our shape is a square. Otherwise, if the breadth is not none, come to this else part and return length multiplied by breadth, and it means that our shape is a rectangle. But what does it mean? We would like to overload this function. So if we call this area function and we pass only one argument, it will be the length argument. And in that situation, the compiler is going to, by default, consider breadth to be none. And here we are checking, okay, now that breadth is none, multiply length by itself. Okay, so it's a square. However, if we called this area function with two arguments, the first one is length and assign the second one for the breadth, and then you check breadth is not no, because there is a number assigned to it, because we had an argument about that when we called the function. Therefore, come to this else part and multiply length by breadth. Okay, let me illustrate it with an example. It will be easier. So we are creating an object of the shape class here. I call the object S. Then I'm calling the function saying that area of a square, and I use the object s.area, the name of the function, and in parentheses I write down number 5. So I'm having one argument only. When I call this area function, the compiler runs this area function and it has one argument only. So length equals 5 and we have no other arguments. Therefore, breadth is by default assigned to none. And because it is assigned to none, we check it here. Breadth is none. Is it true? Yes, this statement is true. Therefore, return us this value, length multiplied by length. So 5 multiplied by 5 is 25. It is returned here. It is returned. And then because we are inside the print function, it is going to print 25 for us. Then I try to call the function one more time. I mentioned this message, area of rectangle. Then I call the area function. This time I'm having two arguments. So the 5 equals length and the breadth equals 10 this time and not none. Okay, it will be equal to none only if we have no argument provided for that. So if I call the function with one argument, it means that breadth is assigned to none by default because we are putting it there. However, if we have the call of the function with two arguments, the second argument, which is 10, is going to be assigned to the breadth, and then we check if breadth equals none. No, this statement is not true because we assign number 10 to it. Then, okay, go to this else part and return length multiplied by breadth, which means that 5 multiplied by 10. So when I run this code, we see the output here. It says area of a square, and then 25 is printed. Then area of rectangle, then number 50 is printed here in the output. Actually, this is a very good example of learning how overloading a function for calculating the area of different shapes would work in Python, and how In fact, they are being implemented in Python easily. Thank you for watching.